My ultimate goal is to make it to the Olympia stage one day. I understand that's not going to be tomorrow by any means, or even a year from now, or 5 years from now, but one day I will touch that Olympia stage, and that's my number one goal, is to show you that regardless of where you start or what odds are stacked against you, as long as you have the right amount of discipline, perseverance, and consistency being the number one thing out of those three, you too can accomplish greatness.
So we just got done doing check-ins, taking weight, sending them over to Chris. Chris is my coach. She's the one that's helping me out with everything, obviously. Weighing in at 190 this morning, which is a significant jump from where we were on stage. I was on stage about 176, 178. So I had a couple, obviously, post-show meals. And just spike the weight up a little bit. We're carrying a little bit of water, but all in all, I'm a lot more full. I feel better. I think I look pretty good still, considering that we're out 7 weeks, well, 6 weeks out now from the next show. So all in all, we're just in a much better starting spot than we were. I would say 7 weeks out from the last show, honestly. So that's the name of the game, just to keep on improvement. So right now, I'm about to get ready to go do fasted cardio. I'm about to go make myself a coffee, because obviously I haven't had that yet, and you could probably tell. No energy drinks or stimulants right now, other than the fat burner that I'm taking. But I'm about to make myself coffee, black coffee. Get ready to do this 40 minutes of cardio. We also got some calf work today, so cardio and calves today. And then I gotta hurry up and come back, because I do have a client meeting I gotta take, and then we get ready to go train after that. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, it's 8 o'clock right now. As you see, it's 8 o'clock. There we go. It's 8 o'clock right now. So it's time for me to get going, because I'm about to be behind schedule. So I will see you sometime later on during the day.
As you see, I got my coffee. And the thing that I was just thinking about this whole posing situation is, obviously everybody wants to get better at posing. We all know that it's super important, or you should know that it's super important. But one of the hardest things that I find for me personally is to connect with the muscles first thing in the morning, to be able to actually lock in and engage in the poses. So I'm really like fighting myself and trying extra hard as I go through each pose. Sometimes I'll do one round like I did today. Sometimes I'll do 2, 3 rounds. It really just depends on how much time I have. As I already said today, I don't have too much time, so we only did one round. But I'll most likely do another round post-workout afterwards, just to get it in. But I was saying that, as you wake up in the morning and you try and connect with the muscles, a lot of times it's not so easy, at least for me, right? So you really have to fight yourself to be able to contract and connect with the muscle groups to be able to flex and hold those specific poses. Now, a lot of people could see that as a disadvantage, but I ultimately see it as an advantage, because it's just another opportunity for growth. If you end up getting better to the point where you can connect automatically as soon as you wake up to those said muscle groups and hit those said poses, then it'll make it that much easier to execute when it comes time to hit the stage. So, with all that being said, the more you practice, the better you'll be. On my way to do this fasted cardio right now. Like I said, I got my coffee, so I'm feeling a little bit better. And then I'll see you at some point. I don't know. So I just pulled up to the gym, and one of the things that I like to do is check this out. I'm damn near parked in the very last parking spot in the parking lot. Reason being, I'm kind of antisocial in the morning. I don't really like talking to people. That's number one. So if I could have my own private gym, or cardio set up in the house, that's definitely a goal one day. So I don't gotta talk to nobody. But that's number one. But the real reason I do it is because I like to be able to get extra steps in, and it might not be a crazy amount, but you think you go 3-4 different places in the day, and you park at the edge of the parking lot. That's got to be adding up to at least another couple, at least 1,000 steps, like extra, right? So, and then obviously you got your steps that you get in throughout the day. But I need to. We're actually not running too far behind on time today, which is a good thing. As much as I was saying that we were, we're actually not. So I just like to be I just like to be ahead of schedule a lot of the times. Also, check out this sick. Let's see. Check out this sick Corvette right here. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how great the zoom is on this, but that thing's pretty dope. So yeah, I'm sipping on the coffee right now, and just listening to a couple podcasts, and I just really like to clear my head before I get in there, get loose, and ultimately start the day. So as far as cardio, what we're doing, we got like I said, 40 minutes total. We're gonna hit 20. I'll probably do 20 minutes on the stairs, and then another 20 just on the treadmill, or I was gonna say maybe elliptical, but probably just the treadmill. And we'll do some light stretching and some calves if I had time. Then I'll hit the sauna ideally, but we could probably save that for a different day. So let me go ahead and finish sipping on this coffee, and then I will see you sometime later on. Might be for the first meal, or maybe when we go to the gym, or whenever something else is happening that I want to show you. All right, welcome back. We're on the way to the gym now. Today is Saturday, so we're hitting arms. Heard back from Chris earlier regarding the check-ins. He was pretty much saying the same things that I was saying. The shape is there, it looks great, still look full, but really we just need the body weight to keep coming down as we try and bring in this detail. Obviously, the more detail you have, the more conditioned you are. You'll be able to see that translate on stage, and you can actually show off the work that you're putting in to your bodybuilding. So like I said, now we're on the way to the gym. We've got an arm day today, and on top of being an aspiring professional bodybuilder, I also run a successful financial planning practice, which I'm very proud of the work that I put into that. But on top of that, I've also I've also recently started a personal training business. Now, this wasn't something that I planned on doing per se. For the longest time, I was actually very against starting a personal training business because, to my understanding or through my experiences, I believe that a lot of the people that I've came in contact with when it comes to training and dieting in general, they just aren't as serious about it as what I am, right? Because obviously, like I said, I'm an aspiring professional. So I'm going to conduct myself as a professional would, right? So that's why I don't miss meals. I don't miss cardio sessions. I don't miss training sessions. I get my sleep. I get my rest and recovery. And I make sure I have a well-rounded diet to help support my training. So with that being said, I just haven't came in contact with a lot of people that need personal training or need coaching per se, that I feel I could bring that expertise. But as of lately, I've had a few lifestyle clients, and when I say a few, I mean a few. I'm only working with 3 people right now, so it's not a booming business by any means, but that's okay because, like I said, it was never even in the plan. I've had a couple of those guys and girls, one female, reach out to me just for general weight loss advice and nutrition advice. Not even necessarily that deep into the training programs, which is good for me because it doesn't take up a lot of time, and I can also just be a helping hand for those people as well. So long story short, I'm on the way to the gym right now to meet up with one of my clients, and I'll call him a friend, a colleague as well. I don't know what this person is doing, but I'm on the gym to meet up with him. He's on his own weight loss journey, and I think one of the reasons why I wanted to be able to work with him and help him out in the way that I do is because he's on a similar path as what I was when I first started, right? So he played D-line as well. I played D-line in college football, and he was a heavier guy, at 300 something pounds, almost 400 pounds. So now he's at the beginning of his journey, and my aim is just to be able to help him out and show him and give him some of the guidance that I necessarily didn't have when I first started. So a lot of the things that I did were trial and error, figuring it out on my own before I eventually transitioned into bodybuilding, which obviously now I have guidance through Chris. So if I can help alleviate his timeline by any means, just from the knowledge and experience that I have, I'm happy to do so. So we're heading there to train now with him. We got arm day, going to the den. I'm already 2 meals deep, right? So I've had my meal 1 and I've had my meal 2, my pre-workout meal. And we're hitting the Costco after after the workout, because you got to stay well fed and get the best deals possible. So why not do both in the same spot? Now this is the point of the video where I'll take you through my warm-up. My warm-up consists of several different movements just to be able to acclimate the upper body towards any movements that I'm going to be performing that day, or any exercise that I'm going to be performing that day. My aim is to warm up the rotator cuffs, side delts, front delts, rear delts, and everything in between, right? Especially when we start hitting these tricep extensions and a lot of the tricep movements. I also want my elbows to be warm. I also want my shoulders, like I said, to be warm, and ultimately my triceps to be warm. Typically when we go into a bicep warm-up, that will be typically with the first movement of whatever I do for biceps. If I'm doing barbell or dumbbell curls, I'll just start off with a lighter weight just to increase blood and volume into that bicep. So this will be the first movement for biceps. My training now looks a lot different than it did just a few weeks ago before I was pre-contest. After the contest, I took about a week or so just to deload and take some time off of training. Not to say that I stopped doing cardio, because you can never do that. But now we're back to full go, and my goal is to be as intense as possible throughout this next 6 weeks so that I can put on as much muscle mass and grow into this next show. I really don't have any certain rep range or anything that I'm going towards. I really just want a hard set to failure, but that'll most likely look like the rep range of around 8 to 12 repetitions, especially with this heavier weight. As the weight begins to taper down, then I'll increase the number of reps to be able to keep the intensity in the set as high as possible. Even utilizing rest pause, drop sets, all the different intensifiers to make sure I'm getting the most out of every exercise. That's how you grow champion biceps, baby. Now this will be the first movement for triceps. I love this machine in particular because it simulates a dip, overhead press, and tricep extension all in the same movement. The tricep is made of 3 different parts, right? Hence the name tri, and the bicep is made of 2 different parts, right? Or 2 different heads, is what I should say. Whenever you're crafting the perfect arm day, you always want to make sure to include both tricep and bicep movements, of course. But I would say focusing your efforts on the tricep over the bicep might actually do you some better in the long run, seeing that the tricep, being that it has 3 heads that make up the muscle, will make your arms actually appear bigger and fuller when you hit the stage. That's not to say you're going to neglect your biceps by any means, because who doesn't love to have huge biceps, right? But if you're thinking about overall size and thickness on the arm as a whole, the tricep is definitely going to be king. I'm still going to failure. Come on. 5, really squeeze it. Hold it at the top. Right there, chest up. Hold it. 3. 2, a little bit slower on the way up. Yep, 1 more. There we go, that's what.
Yeah, that shit made a difference.
That's what it was.
So I get pumped, they don't look defined, it just looks bigger. It pisses me off, like, come on, man.
Now it's time for one of my favorite exercises for the bicep, the hammer curls. Today I'm doing these inclined seated. I don't always do them inclined. Sometimes I'll do them standing. Sometimes I'll do them alternating. Sometimes I'll do them individual. It really just depends on what's calling out to me that day. Ideally, I'm going to go 2 to 3 working sets right here. Honestly, just depending on how good it feels and how well I'm connecting to the movement in that particular day. That can be based on a number of factors, right? How well I slept, how much food I've eaten, how much water I'm drinking, and honestly, what's just going on throughout the day. Before I hit the working sets here, of course, I've got to transition into a few feeler reps. Feeler reps are beneficial because you get to touch the working weight before you actually start working with it. Or you can work up to said working weight. Now, in this example, I'm using the 35-pound dumbbells. My feeler set would have been with the 30 or even perhaps a 25, depending on if it's my first movement for the day or not. But seeing as that we're well into the workout now, only 1 feeler set needed, and we get to go into our working weight and really crush these biceps.
Rest pause, drop it. 1, 2, 3, squeeze, 2 more. 1 more, don't struggle, don't struggle. There you go. 1.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, come on, 14, 15.
Make sure you get you a solid training partner that cuts the reps for you, so you can just focus on the workout. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. One more.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Honey, I'm running out of your winter coat. Oh, why do you feel so cold?
Now it's time for every bodybuilder's favorite part of the workout. And I'm not talking about cardio, it's the pose down. So you'll see in this update, my physique will look a lot different than it did this morning. I was super flat, obviously I had no food, no water, anything in me. Now I've had 2 meals, I've had plenty of water, and I'm off a pump. So all that to say, don't get attached to how your physique looks necessarily at any given point in the day. It's just looking to make overall progressions as time continues to evolve. So let's see what this is looking like. That's all she wrote for the workout. They say one good sign of a good pump is that you can't touch your bicep to your shoulder, or you can't put your fingers to your shoulder because your bicep is in the way. I think we just got that certification right there. So anyway, that's the end of the workout. Not the end of the video just yet. Still some things we gotta address, but it's time to eat. And obviously I told you I brought my post-workout meal with me. Heading to Costco to pick up some more food, and honestly, that's just the everyday grind, man. Make sure that we stay prepared, we can stay on track, and you have no reason not to be on top of chasing your goals and chasing your dreams. That's the mindset of a champion, baby. I brought my post-workout meal with me to the gym because I knew I wasn't going to be able to go right back home afterwards to eat. So proper preparation, I just didn't have to worry about it, right? I can eat, I can go do what I got to do. By the time I get back home, it'll be time for my next meal, and it all lines up. So we've got our cream of rice mixed up right here. Why is that white so far?
Oh, shit.
And there we go. We got our cream of rice mixed. I don't know why you're on it so far. We got our cream of rice mixed up right here, which we made before we left the house. I'm all out of protein powder right now, waiting on it from Granite Nutrition, Code Hollywood, by the way, just to mix up with what I normally would do. But since I don't have that, I mix some peanut butter in here with some chicken breast as well, and a little bit of cinnamon and some salt. So we're gonna eat this. This will be the post-workout meal, or meal number 3. And still will have about 3 more meals after this, but I might take you on the Costco run, might not. We'll really just see how the rest of the day progresses. So I'm gonna eat this for a second, like I said, and try and de-stress after that arm day. So as you could tell by the massive parking lot, we've arrived at Costco. I practice what I preach, getting my steps in on the way to getting my food in. So just because you got to walk a little bit don't mean it's going to be the end of the world. So whenever you go here or many other grocery stores, they're going to have them free samples, right, that they're going to be giving you. Make sure you get you a list before you walk into the grocery store. Know what you're there for and don't be wasting time. That's how you make the most out of any trip, and that's how you really optimize your gains. So let's get in here. And the other good part about Costco is they have a bathroom, so definitely about to take advantage of that. See, all this stuff right here is going to be a no-go. You're trying to stick on your diet, you don't want none of that. Just pulled back up to the house, and I wanted to wrap this up. Obviously, we've done a lot today. Fasted cardio, check-ins, training, grocery shopping. Really, I just wanted this to be like a whole revamped series and experience when it comes to the Hollywood Zoo, or just really everything, just like my YouTube channel in general. You see I changed the name on there. It's just my name, it's just me, because I'm always talking about, I'm here to document the journey, and I feel like I was doing that to a certain extent, but not to the fullest extent. And I try and maximize everything that I do in my life. So this hopefully can now bring you along the journey and show you that everything that I'm doing, everything that you've seen, whether it be on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, with the whole transformation, because obviously everybody always wants to talk about that, right? And, there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm happy to help people out, hence Tyler, and answer any questions. But really, I just want to show that it didn't happen overnight, right? And this is just something that I've been living and breathing for the past 3 years now. When it comes to bodybuilding in particular, my ultimate goal is to make it to the Olympia stage one day. I understand that's not going to be tomorrow by any means, or even a year from now or 5 years from now. But one day I will touch that Olympia stage, and that's my number one goal, is to show you that regardless of where you start or what odds are stacked against you, as long as you have the right amount of discipline, perseverance, and consistency being the number one thing out of those three, you too can accomplish greatness. And so these videos really are just my way of documenting that journey along the way, and hopefully, hopefully it'll be valuable or useful to somebody out there. But more than anything, I just want to do what I said I was going to do and document the journey, and again, so it can help and so it can inspire others, and let them know you're not alone. We all in this thing that we're in this thing called life. And I feel like a lot of us are chasing greatness. A lot of people want to chase greatness, but might not even know necessarily what that looks like for them. So to me, I just want to document my experience chasing greatness, and hopefully it can help you out or help somebody out and resonate with you. So with all that being said, I think I'm gonna wrap the video up right there. This is gonna be like a whole, I don't want to give any, certain like, oh, I'm gonna post every, this day, whatever. No, this is just whenever I get a video out, whenever I feel like expressing something off my chest and to be able to help document the story and show where things are at, then I will do so. Next, actually, plans for the next show, 7 weeks out, and or 6 weeks out as of today, doing the Dayton show. Obviously, I placed second place in that show last year. Placed second place again in the show a few weeks ago at the Buckeye. So I'm just sick and tired of second place, honestly. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. But I understand that my time will come, and I'm very confident in the physique and how we're looking right now. Obviously, it's not perfect. Still got things and areas that we need to work on. The arms, the chest, need the back to get a little bit wider. Got to be able to flex. Like, there's just so many things that still need to be worked on and still developed. And the goal is not to be perfect overnight, but the whole thing about bodybuilding is, if you keep putting into it, it's definitely going to start giving back to you. So if I could leave you with anything, that would be it. Don't give up, don't quit. And then, I'm chasing down that pro card here in the next 6 weeks. So just going to document that journey, and we'll see. At the very least, I'll show you the grind and dedication I put into my bodybuilding, but hopefully we'll have that pro card coming out. So I'll see you in the next one.